Please think for a moment that I could be deceived about the private conversation I surprised you in, and about the extraordinary chance which brought Danceny to your house. I admit. Your face did not betray you at all, and I should not have doubted for a moment the extreme annoyance caused to you by this importunate third party. But, since you've decided to be a schoolmistress, you must teach your pupils to be less transparent in company. You have been 4 days in Paris. In each day you have seen Danceny alone, although you wrote that I should be the first to be informed of your arrival. Will you deny it? Take my advice. Be content with having tested your power, and do not abuse it any longer. Tomorrow night, then. Let me know if we are to make our numerous and mutual atonements at your house or at the little love nest. Above all, no more Danceny. I even hope that it will not be such a sacrifice for you. But even if it is, even if it costs you something, I think I have given you quite a good example. I think a beautiful and sensitive woman who lived only for me, who at this very moment is perhaps dying of love and regret, is well worth a schoolboy. Goodbye, Marquise. I await your reply.
Please, Vicomte, treat my extreme timidity with more caution. How do you expect me to endure the crushing idea of incurring your indignation and not to succumb to the fear of your vengeance? The more so since, as you know, if you do anything cruel to me, it would be impossible for me to revenge it. After all, what would you have to fear? To be obliged to leave the country? Oh, people live abroad as they do here, provided the court of France left you in peace at the foreign court you resided at. It would only mean a change of scene for your triumphs. Back to our affairs. Do you know why I never remarried, Vicomte? It was certainly not because I could not find advantageous matches. It was solely because I would not allow anyone the right to criticize my actions. I am not even afraid of being unable to carry out my wishes. But it would have annoyed me if anyone had had the right to even complain of them. And then, you write the most marital letter one could imagine. You speak to me of nothing but wrongs on my side and forgiveness on yours. But how can one fail a person to whom one owes nothing? All I can say in answer to your threatening letter is that to accept you like this would be showing you a real infidelity. The Valmont I loved was charming. I beg of you, Vicomte, bring him to me if you meet him. In the meantime, what does it matter to you when you can always avenge yourself on your rival? He will do nothing worse to your mistress than you will do to his. And, after all, is not one woman worth as much as another? They are your own principles. Even she who is tender and sensitive, who only lived for you, would nonetheless be sacrificed to the fear of being laughed at for a moment. And you expect people to put themselves out for you. That is not just. Goodbye, Vicomte. I ask nothing better than to be able to think you charming. And as soon as I am sure of it, I promise to prove it to you. Positively, I am too good.
I will try to make myself clear. Long speeches were not necessary to show that since each of us possesses all that is needed to ruin the other, we have an equal interest in treating each other with mutual consideration. But from this day on, I will either be your lover or your enemy. I am perfectly aware that this choice incommodes you, and that you never liked to be placed between yes and no. But you force me to it. I tell you gladly that I prefer peace and union, but it is for you to decide now. The least obstacle presented on your part will be taken on my part as a declaration of war. You see that the reply I ask of you needs neither long speeches nor fine phrases. A word will do.
Very well.